there you have it. That's the score so far. 20 to 11, the best bands of the millennium, in your opinion. You only have yourselves to blame, as we said earlier on. I've got a few well-known front people to give us their opinions. We have Bob Geldof.
Hi.
Jarvis.
Hi there.
Neil.
Good evening.
Hello, and Tony.
Hello.
And Mel. So, where do we start? We'll start with what makes a really good band, Jarvis.
Well, I don't know so much about bands like that, but...
What, the Cause?
Yeah, well, they would be the antithesis of it, I would say.
Would you?
You need something with it. It gives you an idea that there's a gang of people and they all kind of live in the same house and they all do the same things and they've got a little view of the world and people think, yeah, I wouldn't mind being like them.
Bob?
I think you've got to keep in context that this is supposed to be the last 1,000 years, but pop has only existed for the last 40. And so we're looking at the best bands in effect of the last 40 years, and most of the ones we've seen I wouldn't put in that list.
I think there is what he's saying is right. I think there's a difference between a band and what could effectively be as many pieces of plasticine fronting a tune written by somebody else in a studio.
So far, I've had an awful lot of British bands in the poll. Do you think that the band is a kind of a British invention?
Good showing from the Irish, actually. Although most of them are
proud of the Cause, aren't you?
deeply honoured.
It's Boyzone he's focusing on here, I think.
Bob, what's your take on the Spice Girls? If you
Don't ask him!
No, you're critical of some
Don't
pop.
ask
I'm
him.
interested to know, with Melanie sitting here, and you can defend yourself.
I think they actually really are a proper, good British pop band.
OK, so what's the difference between the Spice Girls and Steps or Boyzone?
Spice Girls are good.
Steps are shite.
Where does ABBA fit into all this? Because we've just seen ABBA in...
Well, I remember being in the band bus and they were all listening to the sound of the records and just saying, this just sounds so great. And I was incandescent with rage.
I can't
because
imagine
while
that.
they concentrated on the sound and it was cute and that, it was about nothing and there wasn't really an idea.
Though
they may be...
they've actually stood the test of time remarkably well, and the songs are still there as monuments to their genius. And they're utterly fantastic pop entity, just like the Spice Girls were. Are.
And will be in the future.
Well, no,
Jarvis, where do you sit when it comes to ABBA?
There's a key difference.
I generally find if you hear an ABBA song on the radio, it makes you feel quite happy, and that is all right, you know what I mean? Not all music does the same thing.
Actually, I think Winner Takes It All is a very deeply emotional song. It makes
Bob,
me
you're
cry.
like he's just sitting
Good. That's my position in life.
We'll move on and we'll find out who are the best bands of the millennium, 10 to 1.